On April 15, 1912, the entire world mourned the Titanic's sinking, a ship believed to be unsinkable. The tragedy, caused by numerous simple mistakes, was initially difficult to comprehend. Despite the ship's grandeur, it succumbed to the Atlantic Ocean. The event revealed 12 astonishing facts about the Titanic catastrophe, including the surprising detail that survival was stratified by class. In the aftermath of the Titanic disaster, a little-known fact emerges. The influence of classism significantly shaped the outcome of the tragedy. As events unfolded on that fateful night, it became evident that survival aboard the Titanic was not solely determined by nature. One's social class played a substantial role. This revelation, even in one of history's most desperate moments, underscores the enduring impact of societal inequality. Statistics compiled by Chuck Anisi, a prominent figure on board, highlight the stark contrast in survival rates between first and second-class passengers, particularly among women. A staggering 97.22% of first-class female passengers were rescued, compared to only 14 out of 168 women in the second class. The gender disparity extended to men, with 32.57% of first-class males surviving, while a mere 1 in 5 second-class male passengers made it out alive. This class-based discrepancy underscores the potential for catastrophic events to expose both the best and worst aspects of human nature. Additionally, an intriguing fact emerges. The richest man in the world at the time, John Jacob Astor, perished aboard the Titanic. Despite his immense wealth, strict rules prioritizing women and children in lifeboat rescue efforts led to his tragic demise, highlighting the unpredictability of fate in the face of disaster. Navigating the Atlantic waters at blistering speeds, the Titanic was heedless of potential perils lying ahead. Surprisingly, the ship's crew had received multiple iceberg warnings well before disaster struck. By 7:30 p.m., the Titanic had received 5 warnings from other ships, detailing the presence of heavy packs of ice and numerous icebergs. Jack Phillips, the Marconi wireless operator, recorded a detailed message pinpointing the location of these hazards. However, Phillips, engrossed in sending personal messages, failed to relay the crucial information to any officer. The 6th warning arrived around 10:55 p.m. from the California, urging the Titanic to make a full stop due to treacherous waters. Despite these explicit warnings, Captain Edward John Smith and the Titanic crew ignored the signs, leading to the tragic events that unfolded. One can't help but ponder how history might have unfolded differently if the crew had heeded the numerous warnings. In a fascinating twist, among the survivors was a Japanese passenger, adding a unique perspective to the narrative. In the context of Japanese culture, where proving honor is often associated with death, Masabumi Hoso's story unfolds against this backdrop. As a 42-year-old Japanese bureaucrat working in Russia as the vice-chancellor of the railway board for the Japanese Ministry of Transportation, Hoso decided to board the Titanic in Southampton, England on his way home. Opting for second-class travel, Hoso, the sole Japanese traveler on board, aimed to avoid unnecessary attention in the predominantly white first-class population. As the Titanic headed towards its tragic fate, Hoso had already accepted his impending death. When informed of 2 available spaces on a lifeboat, he hesitated, fully aware of the consequences awaiting him upon returning home. Ultimately, reason prevailed, and Hoso boarded the lifeboat. However, upon his return home, he faced a cold reception, labeled a coward by his compatriots. In Japanese culture, avoiding an honorable death is considered taboo, and Hoso experienced murahaibu, a form of social ostracism. While he initially lost his job, he was later rehired due to his value. Despite this, the stigma lingered, casting a dark cloud over his life. Living in quiet shame and seclusion, Hoso's story took a tragic turn until his death in 1939. This poignant narrative adds a layer of cultural complexity to the broader Titanic saga, offering a glimpse into the profound impact of societal expectations on an individual's fate. Stay tuned for more astonishing facts from the Titanic. While many are familiar with the fictional love story of Jack and Rose from the Hollywood version of the Titanic, few know about a true love story that surpasses it. This tale revolves around Isidor Straus, a Bavarian-born American businessman and politician, renowned as the co-owner of Macy's department store. As the Titanic approached its tragic end on April 14, 1912, Isidor and his wife found themselves among the remaining passengers. Despite their wealth and status, Isidor and his wife faced a unique choice. When offered a spot on a lifeboat, Isidor declined, unwilling to receive preferential treatment while women and children still remained on board. In a gesture straight out of a romance novel, his wife Ida, too, refused to leave his side, asserting that if Isidor didn't go, neither would she. Ida's words, "I will not be separated from my husband. As we have lived, so will we die together," echo their profound commitment. In an act of selflessness, Ida surrendered her seat on the lifeboat to her maid. The enduring love story of Isidor and Ida Straus remains etched in the cold waters and the hearts of those who witnessed this poignant moment on that fateful day. Stay tuned for more captivating facts from the Titanic. The sinking of the Titanic, considered the most infamous disaster of the 20th century, holds a fascinating and lesser-known aspect. Almost eerily, this catastrophic event was nearly accurately predicted in a book written 14 years prior. Few are aware of the novel Futility, the Wreck of the Titan, penned by Morgan Robertson, a revered American writer. In this prescient narrative, Robertson foretells the doom that befalls the world's largest passenger ship, eerily mirroring the fate of the Titanic. The story unfolds with a massive ocean liner sinking after colliding with an iceberg, a plot that closely parallels the actual events of April 15, 1912. While rationality might lean towards dismissing this as an unfortunate coincidence, the notion of a book containing a premonition of the Titanic disaster is undeniably intriguing. Was futility a prophecy that went unnoticed, or was it merely an uncanny twist of fate? The line between reality and coincidence blurs in contemplating this literary connection to one of history's most tragic events. Stay tuned for more riveting facts from the Titanic. The sinking of the Titanic brought forth numerous heroes and a few villains, with the SS Californian occupying a notable place among the latter. The SS Californian, the ship that witnessed the Titanic's sinking, played a controversial role in this tragic tale. Earlier, we discussed how the Titanic received multiple warnings about the perilous waters ahead. The crew of the SS Californian issued some of the loudest warnings, and due to the treacherous path, the ship had to come to a rest for the night. Captain Stanley Lord was at the helm of affairs that night, and a fateful decision he made resulted in avoidable tragedy. Despite being located close to the Titanic when distress signals were sent, Captain Lord and his crew had already retired for the night. Wireless communications were switched off, and distress rockets were ignored. In an alternate scenario, where the SS Californian raced to the Titanic's rescue, the outcome could have been different. Many believe that if the SS Californian had promptly responded after observing the Titanic in distress, all passengers might have been saved. This decision by Captain Lord remains a haunting element in the narrative of the Titanic disaster. Stay tuned for more intriguing facts from this historic event. The story of the Titanic doesn't end with its sinking. After survivors managed to board lifeboats, the challenge was getting off the waters. While the SS Californian remained indifferent, the RMS Carpathia, another ship in the vicinity, played a crucial role in saving lives. On Thursday, April 11, 1912, the RMS Carpathia set sail from New York to Trieste, unaware that it would soon become the hero of the Titanic disaster. Around 12:15 a.m. on April 15, 1912, as the Titanic's distress call reached the Carpathia's wireless operator, Harold Cottam, the entire ship quickly sprung into action. By 4 a.m., the Carpathia reached the Titanic's crash site, actively rescuing survivors from the lifeboats. When the Carpathia arrived in New York on April 18th, it was met by a horde of reporters and spectators eager to welcome the fortunate few who had endured a harrowing experience. The RMS Carpathia's timely response was instrumental in ensuring the survival of hundreds of people. Without its aid, there might not have been a single survivor from the Titanic disaster. This chapter in the aftermath of the tragedy highlights the pivotal role played by the RMS Carpathia in rescuing those who had faced the perils of the icy waters. Stay tuned for more riveting facts from the Titanic. The Titanic disaster unfolded as a perfect symphony of unrelated events, ultimately culminating in the ship's sinking. One such critical factor contributing to this catastrophe was the lack of adequate training for the crew in handling emergencies. Standard procedure for a ship of the Titanic's magnitude required regular lifeboat drill training. This training would educate the crew on the proper procedures to follow in the event of trouble, including abandoning ship. On the morning of the collision, a lifeboat drill was scheduled to provide essential information on the safe capacity of lifeboats and other crucial details. However, this training session was overlooked. Captain Smith, in his final trip before retirement, opted to host a religious service on that Sunday morning instead of conducting the scheduled drill. The oversight of this seemingly simple exercise had profound consequences, leading to numerous errors during the evacuation process. When chaos ensued, officers were unsure about the lifeboat's capacity, resulting in some leaving the scene with only half their intended capacity. The Titanic disaster, born out of negligence and a series of small mistakes, stands as a poignant reminder of the catastrophic consequences that can arise when crucial protocols are disregarded. Stay tuned for more enlightening facts from the Titanic. The tale of Violet Jessop, known as the Unsinkable Lady, is among the most captivating stories from the Titanic disaster. Born in 1887, Violet served as a stewardess and nurse, emerging as one of the survivors of the Titanic tragedy. However, what distinguishes her story is a remarkable detail that sets her apart from other survivors. For many, surviving a colossal disaster like the Titanic would be considered a lifetime ordeal. Yet, Violet's narrative proved to be anything but ordinary. Just 4 years later, she found herself aboard the World War I hospital ship Britannic when it, too, sank. Astonishingly, Violet once again emerged as a survivor. However, her string of extraordinary experiences didn't end there. Prior to these events, she was also aboard the RMS Olympic when it collided with the Hawk on September 20th, 1911. Her uncanny ability to survive such remarkable incidents earned her the nickname, the Unsinkable Lady. Whether attributed to luck or inexplicable coincidence, the story of Violet Jessop remains a mysterious and enigmatic chapter, leaving us with questions even after many years. Stay tuned for more intriguing facts from the Titanic. The Titanic, had it not met its unfortunate fate, was envisioned to be one of the most luxurious vessels, offering the ultimate millionaire experience. From its construction, the ship was designed to exude opulence, earning its captain the moniker Millionaire Captain, due to his associations with some of the wealthiest individuals of the time. Among its many firsts, the Titanic featured one of the first ever swimming pools on an ocean liner. This exquisite pool, located on the starboard side of F-deck, was a symbol of luxury. However, like many aspects of the time, it came with numerous restrictions. Reflecting the prevailing norms of racial, gender, and class segregation, men were allowed to swim for free during specific times, while women had to pay for each swim and had restricted hours for their usage. Legend has it that the Titanic's pool remains filled with water to this day. This swimming facility, though a symbol of luxury, also mirrored the societal norms and restrictions of its time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.